he's waiting for me to reach out. Okay, princess. I didn't know I transitioned into a woman to like act like a man in this relationship. Sorry, let me do transition. Let's just say I felt like Zendaya in The Challengers. And then I noticed there was like a cop car, like 2 cars in front of me. And I was like, it was like me and my friend, and she was talking to a guy. I wouldn't be like flirting with that guy. Things ended up getting heated. We're not worth it.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back to our 4th episode of Unusual Beginnings. It has been a journey. We've taken some time to get this episode going, but we're so excited to get together and talk about some dating experiences especially that I've had.
Yeah. Well, it's been 2 weeks since our last recording, I think. Although it might not seem like it because we had an episode in the bank already, and a lot has happened. I've moved to Madrid. You've been to New York. You were in New York for like a weekend. You're going to Canada this weekend. There's a lot of traveling happening. There's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. We've got an event coming up, which we just booked the venue for, which we can announce in this episode, which is going to be awesome. So a lot has happened.
Literally, a lot has happened in like the past 2 weeks. It's crazy. Lots of good things. Not bad things, but like, things that happened that weren't so great in like my personal life. Great overall. Super excited, super grateful to be doing this with you. But oh my God, I'm so excited for London now.
I should have had this information before, but well, the premise of the event, we'll go over that quickly, is it's called the Red Flag Auction. You're going to only be allowed to do a presentation of your bad qualities. Now, keep it playful. Don't start saying really bad stuff, like, because obviously that's going to put people off. Well, actually, it depends how you frame your bad qualities. If you frame it in a comedic way, it's going to go down well. So that's like, it really opens up the creativity to people, allows people to show their personality.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else do this before, so it could go really well. It could go really badly. But come along, find out. Either way, it'll be a laugh. We can have some drinks. We can get to know each other. I think it's going to be awesome.
And don't worry, we're going to be the first ones to show our red flags, and we'll do like the presentation. So that way you guys can get like a drift of like how everything's going to work out.
Yeah.
Soon we will be sending out the template for the PowerPoint presentation. So that way you guys can, just input all of your information. So go ahead, purchase your tickets. For the first 10 tickets, we are giving 25% off. So you definitely don't want to miss out on that deal. And then after you've purchased your tickets, we will go ahead and email you all of the information and how to get started on your PowerPoint. So that way you guys can auction yourselves.
And we're going to have some cool props. Actually, Carly has ordered some of the props and she's got an unboxing. So I won't say what they are, just let Carly unbox it and tell you. So let's see what we've got.
Welcome to Unusual Beginnings Unboxing. So I literally ordered this, I think probably on Monday or Tuesday? Monday. And then it got here on Tuesday. So, and I literally have not opened it. I was like, I want to open this. I want to make it special and open it with Johnny. And this is perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing is there's another thing that goes with this that I haven't ordered. But I got some dry eraser markers because we're going to have like paddles for like bidding. But the most important thing, hold on. Order in the house.
That's awesome. That looks really good. I was expecting something.
You get 20 bid over here, 20 euros, 21 euros, 21 euros. Anyone else? It's sold.
And to premise, there's going to be fake money. We're going to print out some Unusual Beginnings fake money. So you will not have to spend any of your real euros, dollars, or pounds. It's all for fun.
You only have to spend real euros on drinks.
Yes. Well, it's going to be pounds because we're going to be in London. But
Yeah,
also to stipulate that the purchasing is all for fun and no one is stuck with their matches from the auction. It's just for pure entertainment purposes. So you can chat to anybody, you can mingle with anybody, you can go home with anybody you want, you can get anybody's number you want. There's no rules. It's just an icebreaker. So
yeah. Just have fun, It's definitely an unusual way to meet your partner, but it's going to be a really great meet cute.
Meet cute, yes. This is a new term I recently discovered. Very American. I don't think I've ever heard it in Britain. So actually, interestingly, if you are from another country, if you are from Europe or the UK, have you ever heard that phrase before, meet cute? Because I haven't, and I'm English. But Carly seemed to know what it was, so I never heard it before. Put it in the comments, let us know.
It might just be an American thing, but who knows? I mean, if you're a doom scroller like me, you probably
Yeah.
have heard about it, but no. Okay, let's get started. So, what
So
are we talking about
what's
today?
been going on in your life, Carly? Tell us about New York.
Well, let's talk about my New York trip.
Yeah.
Literally, ever since getting back from Madrid, I had the like first, I think, 2 or 3 weeks of not doing anything because I didn't start my job yet, which I really took for granted. Because ever since I started, it's been nonstop, like working. And then I took the trip to New York. I got to see Sydney, but only for a short period of time because I was dog sitting for her. So we had like the first day that I got there, and then she left the next day. So the first day we went and got like our pedicures. We gossiped about the men situations. She's in a healthy relationship, so she's good. So I just talked about my boy troubles, and I was telling her about the French short king that I told you about. And then I also told her about this Italian guy that I was talking to, which I had messed up and like downloaded Hinge, but I deleted it like right away.
What are the rules? We had the agreement.
I broke my rule and I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. And Hinge is
It is
God.
gone.
I wish there was
Yeah.
a way to like block it so that I like can't download it again.
There is. There is. Yeah, you can well, I use I've recently downloaded an app called Freedom, which blocks all my social media access for a certain amount of time per day. And it also blocks me installing apps, dating apps and things like that. So because I have been struggling with my social media addiction, my dopamine addiction lately, and I was to take drastic measures. So I paid for this special app that blocks all of my access to social media. I can set recurring time slots. By the way, this is not a sponsored thing,
Yeah.
guys. It's just me like telling you about something I use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not
But it's really
sponsored.
good.
He just really loves it, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah. It's
apparently
really good.
actually need it.
Yeah. I mean, the main thing that stops me using dating apps is that they're fucking terrible. And every time I install them, I'll admit, occasionally I will have like a bit of a weak moment. I'll be like, oh, let's just see. And I'll scroll for about 5 minutes and be like, this is terrible, delete. Best ways to meet people in real life at unusual events like Red Flag Auction in London on the 23rd of August at 8 p.m.
But yeah, I need to get the app so that way I can, block myself from downloading it.
Yeah. Yeah, you do.
But yeah, I
Sometimes
learned
you
my
need to
lesson
take these
though.
measures.
I learned that it doesn't matter where the men are, meeting them online sucks.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just meet them in person. But yeah, we'll get into the audacity that this man had.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
So
know all of this already, but let's tell
yeah.
everybody else. Yeah.
So my weekend in New York, it was so great. Had girls' night, absolutely amazing. Went out afterwards. We went to like a few places, and then I ended up like going home. And then like the next day, I was meeting up with my one of my best friends, Mikkel, because he lives in the city, and I usually stay with him, but now he's like all the way in Jersey. And then Sydney needed someone to dog sit, so I was like, perfect. I don't have to go to Jersey. But yeah, so we ended up like meeting up because I hadn't seen him since I think literally like a year ago, like last June when I went there for Pride. And so we grabbed dinner, caught up, and then we went to this gay dive bar and never doing that again.
Wow, a gay dive bar. Why? What was so bad about it?
Yeah, it was just like it was literally like a dive bar, but gay. And they had a drag show and like
Okay, that sounds fun. No, was it not?
there was like one performer who was like really great.
Okay,
Yeah, but the other ones, I was just like, wow.
really bad.
Anyways, yeah, it wasn't like top tier performance. It was definitely
Okay,
like a dive bar.
yeah. I mean, that's what you get from a dive bar, isn't it?
No tea, no shade, but Johnny doesn't know what that means.
No, I don't. I have not a clue. Not a clue.
But yeah, like that was fun. We only went because one of the performers was friends with Mikkel, and it was like her
Mm,
birthday like that week, so she was like celebrating her birthday.
hmm
But yeah, after that we were like, yeah, let's go somewhere. And so we decided to just like walk around and we went to like a few other bars, but it was mostly like just like straight bars and it was like some
mm.
straight dive bars, which aren't any better. But at least there will be people there that will buy me drinks. And because Michael is like my gay best friend, they'll buy us drinks and we'll get to talk to people. But yeah, so we went to a few places and one of the places we met this guy and he literally just like ended up coming up to us and started talking to Mikkel. Okay, this is the thing. And this is what he told me too. He was interested in me, but he wasn't sure if Mikkel and I were together. And I was like, I mean, you can clearly tell that he's gay, but also we're in New York. So you really can't tell like
No,
if
you can't judge, can you? Like sometimes you just don't
gay
know.
or not by the way
Yeah,
that they're dressed because we're in New York. And Mikkel is like super muscular and like, yeah, but he's like super fashionable too.
yeah.
He's shorter than me, like really short. But yeah, he was like, I wasn't short, so I started the conversation with him and then like kind of like included me well, I included myself into the conversation. I was just like, yeah. But yeah, and then later on we ended up like going somewhere else and his friend decided to like join in with us. And I originally like wasn't really interested like with like the friend. I was interested in the guy that like came up to us.
Yeah.
But I was like including the friend in like conversations and stuff. Because he was also including like Mikkel in the conversations. And then we went to like the next bar and stuff like that. Then like me and the friend started to like talk because like I think they went to go get us drinks or something. And like got to know each other and I was like, oh like I actually like him too. So it was basically like two guys that I had to like choose. And they were both interested.
Oh no.
I wasn't sure, honestly, like, if the other one was interested or not, especially because I'm like, you just saw me, like, all over your friend, all over, like, your best friend, supposedly, so why would you, like, hit on me, you know? Because I mean, girl code,
New
like,
York.
if yeah, like, girl I don't know, I feel like this was just, like, guys. Because if it was, like,
Mm,
a girl, it was, like, me and my friend, and she was talking to a guy, I wouldn't be, like,
no,
flirting with that
no.
guy and trying to, like
But then, like, neither would like. I don't think that's a guy thing. I feel like that's just a. It's very disrespectful. Like, I wouldn't do that to my friend. That's like a quality of friend issue. Like,
yeah.
clearly, like that guy needs to review his friendships because, like, no, you don't do that.
Yeah. And like things ended up getting heated. And let's just say I felt like Zendaya in The Challengers.
I
Have
don't
you
get
seen
that
that movie?
reference.
You haven't seen that movie?
No,
I will send you the meme.
you sent me the meme. I am recently realizing I'm very clueless when it comes to certain things like this, like certain films and certain memes. Like people have been saying stuff to me lately, and I'm like, sorry, I don't get the reference. They're like,
Ugh,
what?
you're not a
But then
pop.
I am mixing with a lot of different cultures at the moment. I'm mixing with quite a few Americans and Spanish people because I'm in Madrid. There's a lot of Americans here,
Lots of Americans, lots of Brits, lots of
lots of
Swedes.
Brits. Yeah, I've not come across any Swedish people yet.
That's all that I came across.
Really?
Yeah,
Guess it
Swedish,
depends where you
lots of
go.
Swedish girls.
Swedish girls, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
some Swedish guys, but it was honest, and a lot of Germans.
I've met quite a few Germans, yeah.
Ugh, I miss Madrid.
Call them Gearys, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's pretty much encapsulates everybody. For those that don't know, a Geary is anybody, like kind of like a foreigner, but not a foreigner. It's like encapsulates a certain type of traveler, certain type of visitor, a stereotype of somebody that doesn't quite fit in into Spain. Yeah, flip flops and shorts, and looking summery.
Mhm.
So I definitely fit into that category. I'm getting better at Spanish though. I'm slowly getting there.
Let's see.
Oh no, don't put me on the spot. Don't put me on the spot. I'm just like picking up certain phrases.
Now.
You need to what?
I need to hear it now.
Okay. What can I say? No, come back to it. Come back to it in a second. For me, it's like when I'm trying to order stuff in shops and trying to say certain words, it's a confidence thing. It's a massive confidence thing. And I've found people are really nice about it. You say something, if you say it wrong, they just kind of smile and grin at you and then correct you. And they're very kind about it, which is really nice. I think they like, especially in Madrid, they're very used to people just like talking the most atrocious Spanish to them. And they're like, you clearly a foreigner. I'll correct you. I'll give you a free Spanish lesson, which is nice.
Yeah. It's not like the French, apparently, where they're like, just shut up.
I've never been to France. I need to go.
Me too.
I need to go to Paris.
Yeah.
Check out
Especially,
Paris. That'd
yeah.
be fun.
Because there's one of my favorite artists is performing in Paris in, I believe, September.
Oh, you told me, yeah.
Yeah, and
Have you bought those flights? Are you
I
going?
haven't booked it. I think I'm gonna book it like soon. I need to buy the tickets, like the concert tickets first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to make sure that I can like logistically go with
Yeah,
like,
because you've got
yeah,
quite a
because
few
this is
countries.
not Europe where you get a month worth of vacation. You only get like 2 weeks. And I want to make sure that I use it wisely.
Yes, of course. I forgot about that. You only get 2 weeks leave a year, don't you?
Yeah,
So, and you're coming to London, then you're going to Italy, then Portugal, and you've got to somehow fit in France there as well.
yeah. And then
Like
we're going
that's
to Cape Verde at the end of the year.
for New Year's, yeah. And then we've got your birthday next year.
Because I think the concert's like on a Monday. So I think I will probably fly in like Saturday, like the Saturday before. So that way, or like Friday. So that way, like that can be like my 2 days off. So I don't have to use my like vacation
Yeah,
time.
you
And
could
then,
do a weekend. It's going to be rough, but
yeah. And then it'll just be like, I'll take like Tuesday off. So that will be like, I'll use my vacation day, but it's only like one vacation day.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I
That's
think
what I plan to do, short trips around Europe, because now I'm in Madrid, I can get to like Porto, I can get to Lisbon in like an hour.
our food's gonna be really cheap.
Actually, I was looking at the flights to Porto and it was like £300 return, or like the cheapest one was like maybe 200, but I like had to return at a stupid hour. It wasn't cheap. I was expecting like £80, and that
Yeah,
was like with carry-on as well. It wasn't with any like luggage.
yeah, but I think it's because it's summertime, so it's tourist season, so that's why.
Yeah,
Because when I
yeah,
well, actually, I don't know how much mine was because I didn't pay for it, but I don't think it was that much.
yeah. You come at odd times. Like I got to Madrid for £90
Mhm.
with 23 kilos of luggage, huge bag, carry on. But like now that like we're in July, we're about to enter July, my friend was going to come this weekend and the flights were like £300 return for a weekend. And he was like, nah, it's not worth it. So I get it.
You're not worth it.
Not just for like 2 days, because then like £300 for flights for 2 days and then he's got to get accommodation. And like we would go, we'd go out, we'd do events, we'd go drinking, we'd get food. He'd spend like you'd probably end up spending like £800 on a weekend. That's quite a lot just for a 2 day
Yeah,
trip. No, maybe not 800, maybe like 500, 600, depending on how crazy you go with the shots of tequila.
we usually go hard with the tequila shot.
We do, don't we? Yeah. I was having tequila on the weekend. It was rough.
Oh, thank you. If New York, it was really rough. I was so hungover. I ended up like canceling some plans because I was just like, I can't do this. I'm so hungry.
Really.
Yeah, we're not young like we used to be.
We were both just saying, weren't we, before we hit record on this podcast, that like both of us yesterday were exhausted because we've both done things recently where we felt like we could do it mentally because of course, we always feel young in our head, but like you immediately get a sobering reminder of your age the next day when you're like, I can't even think straight. I need to have a nap.
And
I was
mine
up till like 4 a.m. the other day and I was like,
Mine was because I've just been working for like 7 days straight,
yeah, yeah,
and that like kicked me in the ass. I'm like, I am not young anymore. I need my full like 8 or like 12 hours of sleep. I can't do this.
yeah. And you've been getting up really early, like 5,
Today I finally woke up at like 6.
and that's a lion for you at the moment.
Because usually it's been at 5. And yesterday I think I went to bed at 10 o'clock.
That's good. Yeah. So you feel refreshed today.
I do. I
Yeah.
do. And I took like a long ass nap yesterday. I took like a 2-hour nap.
Yeah.
When I got home, I needed it after the day that I had. It was so embarrassing. Now looking back, I'm like, wow, that was like so embarrassing. I can see why the cops were judging me.
The cops were judging you. What? You didn't tell me this. What happened
Oh, did I not tell you what happened?
with the cops? No, you didn't say anything about the cops.
So yesterday I was supposed to go to like an entrepreneur event at Brown University, and I was rushing around. I took my pills on like an empty stomach, and that completely like fucked me up. And I ended up like throwing up because I felt so sick. Literally right when I like parked my car to go to the event, and then I was like, I can't do this. I'm gonna go home. And literally on my way home, I started to get super lightheaded, and I was like, I need to pull over. And I'm sweating profusely, had just thrown up. My stomach is still in knots. I'm like, this is like the worst day of my life. And it's only 9 a.m. Actually not even. I think it was like 8:30 in the morning. Yeah, and it was already like the worst day of my life. And then I was like trying to figure out like how I'm gonna get home. I need food to eat, but I can't drive anywhere because I'm so lightheaded. And I
Mm.
called Johnny, and Johnny's like, "There's nothing I can do. I'm in
I
like
know, I'm like a
you're
thousand
scaring.
miles away.
You just called me and now you're scaring me, and like you need to like call someone, Carly." But
I I was
unfortunately,
literally the worst person you could call. I'm across the fucking ocean. I was like, all I can give you is like a bit of sympathy and like tell you to call your fucking family or something. But you know, I understand. I understand why you called me because we've got a good connection and stuff. We're
yeah,
good friends and everything.
I gave him a scare, and I was like,
Yeah, you
"Well,"
did.
I was on the phone. I'm like, but so I tried to like take a nap. That did not work. And then I noticed there was like a cop car, like cars in front of me. And I was like, he'll be able to like help me out.
Mm-hmm.
And like knocked on his window. Literally, my long, like white turtleneck was so messed up because I had like my makeup all over it. Cause I was like, doing this and it was so dirty. And then my skirt, I had like unzipped it because it was like too tight on my stomach and was like upsetting it even more. And I had like unzipped it. And then I was trying to like zip it back up so I can go. And it was only zipped like halfway. And then like I only had like my socks on. I didn't have my like boots on. I was like, I can't put this on. And so I was like running out there and my hair was like all frizzy and messed up. My makeup was all messed up because I was also like just crying. So I had like mascara running. And I was just like, can you help? And he was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, and I was trying to tell him like what was going on. And he was just like, "So what do you want us to do? Like, do you want me to call for like, help and stuff?" And I'm like, and I was about to say, yeah, like call the ambulance. But then I was like, you know what? This is America. This shit's gonna cost me like $3,000. I'm in another state, basically. I was in Rhode
Yeah.
Island. And so I was like, actually, no, don't call the ambulance.
Isn't that sad that you have to think that way? Like, if you genuinely needed help, your first thought would be,
Can
I
I
don't want to, yeah, like, I can't afford it. Like, I don't want that bill. I'd rather sacrifice my health than get in debt. Like, that
Yeah, they get
is
in like a $3,000 or
disgusting.
like $10,000 bill.
Yeah. It would have to be ridiculously bad for you to be like, yes, call an
Yeah.
ambulance. Like, I'm gonna die. Like, what's
And
worse,
I felt like
dying
that
or a
at some
$10,000 bill?
point, but I was like, "No, I can do this. I can do this." But yeah, so I was like, "No, don't call for help." And then I literally just kept saying like, "I think I just need food and water. Like, do you have
Hmm.
water?" I was like, he was like, "Oh, there's like this gas station over here." And I'm like, "How do you expect me to drive there when I just told you I can't even drive?" And then he was telling me to walk. And I'm like, "I can barely fucking stand up right now and I'm hunched over about to throw up." I was hoping that like he would be able to like drive me somewhere close by so that I can like buy food
Mm,
and then like just drop me off in my car. But no, he was no fucking help.
mm.
And all he was suggesting was like getting the ambulance. And I'm like, I'm not paying for that fucking bill. And then at some point, and he literally stayed with me the entire time and stayed for like over 30 minutes. I'm like, during that time, you could have driven me somewhere. I could have gotten food. You could have dropped me back off. And then like I would have been good.
Yeah.
But no, men are fucking clueless.
I don't know if it's, I think maybe police, like, especially in America, they're probably so used to dealing with problems. I think they have this kind of like, they just see issues. They don't see, they almost only just see crime. They don't like see people that are humans and genuinely need to help.
Yeah,
Like, it's more like they're a hammer and they only see nails, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
I don't know that, I don't know if that's to be true. That's just me guessing. And obviously I have a very outsider opinion on America, but they really should be like caring and want to do good things for people. And, I don't know. That's just my opinion. It's crazy.
He did not know how to handle a woman crying at all. Because he was just like, and I saw
I
that
I
he was
think,
married.
yeah.
I'm just like, you're married and you don't know how to like handle a woman crying.
Do you think marriage makes a man know how to handle a woman? Bullshit.
Totally not.
That's not true at all.
Yeah.
Most men do not have emotional intelligence. This baffles me so much, this subject, because like I have been hearing so much more lately about, because I have a lot of female friends, including you, and I've met friends here in Madrid, and the phrase I've been hearing lately is the bar is really low. Like that's literally what I hear. And I'm like, I don't understand. What do you mean by that? Like everything is like they've had so many women have bad experiences, even just on little things like lack of emotional intelligence. I don't even know how to explain this. I'm hearing nothing good, and And it seems the stuff that is bad, it's so easy to change. It's just like basic respect for dealing with humans, not just women, humans. Like recently I was at a bar, um, and I met somebody that was telling me a story about she had a roommate that was she considers to be beautiful, and apparently she often gets men talking to her only to get to her roommate when they're out and about. I don't understand this concept. If you like somebody, just have the balls to go up and talk to them yourself.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't do that whole kind of like, hey, will you talk to your friend for me? Don't do this. Makes you look like a fucking pussy. It does. You're a pussy. The worst thing that's ever going to happen to you is no.
Yeah,
Or maybe if you're disrespectful, you might get slapped, but you deserve it. Like,
exactly. And another thing, take that note and walk away.
yeah,
Don't try to like convince them into liking
no,
you. Why would you want someone that you had to like convince to like you in the first
exactly, exactly. You're doing yourself a disservice. If you ever have to convince somebody to be in your life, they're not meant to be in your life.
Exactly. Like just
People
walk away.
should want to be in your life. That goes for every relationship. That goes for all friendships. I don't put effort in people that don't put effort in me. And it goes, if somebody immediately just doesn't want to show effort to you, it's like, okay, you've done me a favor actually. But it's just so strange to me. I've been hearing that phrase a lot lately. The bar has been set low,
It
and it
really
seems to
has.
be like a really common experience for women. It's like just like the most basic things, like the ability to fucking have a conversation, the ability to be respectful, the ability to have a sense of humor, the ability to just like treat people with basic human decency and not just see them as a piece of meat that they
Yeah.
want to have sex with. Like
The ability to like have good communication skills. So
good communication skills, which we have touched upon a lot in other episodes. Big thing for both of us, isn't it? And I think it is for a lot of people. And I've been experienced that a lot lately with like dating. People just don't put effort into messaging, and it's
yeah,
so
or they're
refreshing
like,
when somebody actually does.
because the thing that like ended my talking stage with the Italian guy
Yeah,
was we were literally texting like every day nonstop and like having conversations on the phone while I was like on my train ride to work. And then I think that was going on for about like a week.
yeah,
Then, like the Monday before I left for New York or whatever, because his mom was like there for the weekend and he was still like talking to me every day and we're like having conversations and talking on the phone. And then
yeah.
that Monday he like dropped her off and then I like didn't really hear from him after that. And then so I was just like, I don't like to reach out to men first. I don't want to chase after a man. I like to be pursued. And he was doing a great job at that and, messaging me like, because he's in Italy. So he'll like text me first, or he'll like text me when he knows that I'm like awake. But yeah, and he like stopped doing that. So I was like, oh, okay, like I'm not gonna reach out. Like
Mm.
like you're gonna reach out. But yeah, and then that went on. And on Thursday, I was leaving for New York. And while I was like on the train, he had like texted me and was just like, let me pull up the messages.
Yeah, tell us. Share with the group. Share with the group.
Yes. So he was like, hi, Carly, did you make it to New York? Are you finally having fun? And I was like, hey, stranger, I just got on my train and headed there now. And he was like, ah, nice, happy for you. And then he replied to like the comment of me saying, like, hey, stranger. And he was like, oh, like, technically, I am a stranger. And I was like, yeah, but I meant since you ghosted me for like the past few days.
Yeah.
And then he was just like, hey, I'm like laughing. And then he was like, on the train again. And I was like, well, I hope you have fun, even if I ghosted you. What am I supposed to do with that information?
Well, what he's trying to do there is he's trying to like, I think he knows knows he's done something wrong, and he's trying to kind of like brush it off with humor and kind of brush it under
Yeah,
the carpet rather than just outright coming out and apologizing and be like, hey, look, I know I've been a bit quiet for the last few days. Here's why I've been busy. I apologize. Like,
exactly. But he didn't do that. And I should have learned my lesson. I was talking to Sydney about it and she was saying like the same thing. But then I ended up like replying and I was just like, thanks. I just got here like a little while ago. I'm gonna do some editing and then doing like our pedicures with like my friend,
yeah.
and doing dinner later. He read it. That was Thursday, June 5th. He messages me back this Sunday.
So he did
So
it again. He did it again. What the fuck is wrong with
yeah.
this guy?
And he was like, do you know? So I was the last person who texted him. He read it and never replied. And then texted me back like a week later saying, or not even a week, I think like a week and a half. And it's like, Hey, you completely forgot about me. How are you? Still in New York? I've been in Copenhagen this week. This is what we say when the bar has been set so fucking low and these men are still fucking up. And I had told him that I hate playing games and I appreciate like communication. And I'm just like,
Hmm.
I told you that I was going to New York and I was still like
Hmm.
taking time to text you. You didn't even tell me that you were going to Copenhagen.
Hmm.
And you also like read my message, didn't reply, and then you have the audacity to ask me why I haven't reached out to you.
Yes. Everybody, here's a lesson for you. If I like somebody, I'm going to be telling you about everything that I'm doing. If I'm going to Copenhagen, I'm going to want to tell you because I'm going to want to impress you. Hey, look at the traveling I'm going to do. If I like you, I'm going to be thinking about you every day. I'm going to want to be saying good morning to you. If I like you, no matter how fucking busy I am, there's going to be a 10-minute window here and there where I pick up my phone and I'm bored, or maybe I'm just like, I've had enough of what I'm doing and I need a 5-minute break. And the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to be on my mind and I'm going to message you. If that does not happen, I'm not interested in you. Simple.
He's just not that into you.
It's just not that into you. If I was going on a trip, I'd be like, oh, I'm going here. Because
Yeah,
I'd want you to know and I'd want you to be thinking, wow, this guy gets around. That's just like building up
yeah.
I don't know, the
And the reason
profile of
that,
me in
like,
your
at
mind.
the time, it was so easy for me to detach was because he was texting me every day. Like, he's a professor, he's an English professor in Italy. And he was texting me during his lectures when we
Hmm.
first started talking. When he was with his mother, he was texting me while he was with his mother or while he like was alone. While he was on a jog, he would call me and he was like, I can multitask and like, like I want to talk to you. And then to
Wow.
go from that to, like, radio silence, and then having the audacity to ask me why I haven't reached out to you first when you've been pursuing me and I told you that I like
Hmm.
to be pursued. I literally told him how I like to be treated, and he still went and fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, that's when we say, like, the bar's been set so low. So,
Yeah.
after he sent that text, I said, "I don't do inconsistencies, which I've already told you, nor do I chase after a man. And for the record, I was the last to text you. So the reality is that not only did you ghost me once, but twice. I wish you luck."
There you
And
go.
then he goes and says, "Oh God, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm sorry you feel that way." Not a great apology. We have
Not owning
different
up to his
ideas.
actions.
Yeah, not even owning up to his actions, just blaming it on me. And then says, "We have different ideas of what ghosting is, but still, I'm sorry if
Right.
that is how you felt." That was like the worst fucking apology. I literally read it and then I did not bother
Just
to
ignore,
reply.
ignore, ignore,
Yeah,
ignore.
he's been like archived.
Yeah. Good.
But
Good.
I'm just like, okay, so that wasn't really an apology. So good luck.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what else to tell you.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, right, is when sometimes if you've never been shown an example of how you can be treated by somebody, it's very easy to slip into this kind of like scenario where you start accepting things like that. And then someone will come along and show you how you actually show that it's possible to be treated the way that you want to be treated. And then when that happens, you'll never fucking accept anything less ever again.
And it doesn't have to be like a romantic like relationship.
No,
Like your friends
no.
show you, like my friends show me how I should be treated. Like
Yeah.
Johnny
I
lit
show you how I
yeah,
want to be treated.
Johnny literally like texts we talk to each other literally every day, multiple times a
Yeah.
day, and he's 6 hours ahead of me. And I
And
talk to like my
when I
girlfriend.
was in Asia, I was 7 or 8 hours ahead of you, and we still
Yeah.
fucking talked.
No, I think you were like 13 hours ahead of me.
13, yeah,
Yeah.
13 hours. There's no
Because, like,
fucking
my
excuse,
morning
guys.
was your night, and then your night was
Hmm.
my morning, and, like,
Yeah.
we would talk, like, during those times. That's when we would
Hmm.
FaceTime each other, and it's just, like that's why, like, I never accept, like, "Oh, I've been really busy," or, "Oh, I'm, like, on the other side of the country," or, like, saying, like, "Oh, I don't do, like, long distance." I'm like, "I have long distance friends, and they
Mm,
put in much more effort than you, and you're, like, an hour drive away.
yeah.
Do better."
Yeah. They're
That's just like
keeping you
my
as an
my
option.
girlfriends, like, text me every day and, like, take me out to, like, dinners and stuff like
Hmm.
that, and I'm supposed to accept, like, not even the bare minimum from a man who's supposedly is interested in me, but likes to go multiple days without hearing from me, and instead of reaching out, he's waiting for me to reach out. Okay, princess. I didn't know I transitioned into a woman to, like, act like a man in this relationship, so, sorry, let me detransition. Let me come and get you flowers. Let me text you, "Good morning, beautiful. How are you doing?" Crazy. Yeah, and I think another thing that, like, definitely helps is that I I have been practicing on, like, decentering men, focusing on my happiness, my career, and having, like, goals. Because I think what was really stopping me and getting what was having me get super attached to men is that, like, I didn't really have anything, like, hobbies or anything, like and I was just, like, focusing on, like, having a guy, like, being attracted to me, and I was just going on, like, way too, like, many dates, and I was just, like, centering men, and there's still, like, times where, like, I catch myself, like, looking at men, and I'm just, like, thinking, like, things, and I'm just like, "No." I'm focused on me, I'm not focused on a man, I'm not, like, creating any stories in my head, like, "You're done." I've been focusing on, like, unusual beginnings, which has really been helped. I've been working literally all the time, so I literally have, like, no time that I wanna, like, invest into a guy, and I've been doing a lot of traveling. I've been doing a lot of journaling. So that's all really helped. So I think if excuse me, I think if whether like you're a girl or a guy, especially like my girlies, decenter men, focus on like your hobbies, what you like, figure out like, what you don't like, focus on like your friendships, focus on family, focus on like your goals and your dreams and your aspirations and exactly what you want to do. Because also like the right guy is gonna appreciate that and is gonna appreciate like you having something to like go for yourself, you know? So yeah, I don't know. That's my rant. Mhm. 'And travel the stop making excuses. I was the bitch that was like, "Oh, I wanna go to this place, but I can't afford it." I was always just saying, like, "I can't do this, I can't afford it," like, and then I literally, like, after going to Europe for the first time last year and going to Lisbon and meeting Johnny, and, like, he inspired me because he literally, like, dropped everything and, like, started traveling the world. I was like, "I'm gonna stop saying I can't do this because I can't afford it, and I'm gonna start saying, 'How can I afford this?'" Yeah. I'm saying I can't do this. And, like, with Unusual Beginnings, like, we didn't say, "No, we can't do that." We were just like, "Yeah, let's do it," and then we've been making, like, small steps, and, like, looking back, I was just yeah, like, it's like, all of those micro steps have, like, led to this moment. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because literally we doing yeah, because we were literally just like, "We're already talking about this, let's just record it, put it out there, and see what people like." Honestly, and we don't even have a lot of followers or anything, but literally every single follower that we get, we're like, "Oh my god, we're at, like, 10 followers. We're at 20 followers, and now we're, like, 33 followers on Instagram." Yeah, yeah. And on that note, I think this is a great way to end this podcast because I work too. Yes. Yeah, just come have a good time. Yeah, that would be fun. What if we did like shots of tequila, like a free shot of tequila for the first 10 people who like the first 10 people who buy the tickets now at 25% off. Not only do you get 25% off, but you also get a free shot of tequila when you show up. I mean, hey, I've been putting funds away just for unusual beginnings, so we can take it out of that. All right. Well, this is it. This has been a great episode. We will see you guys on the 23rd of August. And before that, we will be making announcements about the events and stuff like that. Any like updates. And also, yeah, just get ready for our next podcast. This podcast should be up this Friday, tomorrow. Oh my God. So I literally have like today to edit. I'll get it. I'll get it for tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah. But all right. Have a good night.